Here are 3 things you can do with your dog at home that your vet actually wishes you would do, according to a vet. Welcome back to Alpha Paw, your destination for everything dog. I'm Bernie Zilio, and I'm on a mission to answer every doggone question you have ever had about your fur babies. And today we are talking about 3 things that you could be doing at home that are both beneficial for your dog and helpful for your vet, according to a vet. Fortunately, we have one of those with us today, Dr. Ross Bernstein. Dr. Ross is a seasoned veterinary professional and pet care expert. He earned his doctorate degree in veterinary medicine at UC Davis School of Veterinary Medicine, and his work has been featured in several industry-leading publications, including the Journal of Veterinary Surgery. He is our go-to vet for everything we want and need to know about our fur babies. So welcome back to Alpha Pod, Dr. Ross.
Hey, Bernie. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. Now, we typically always talk about how vets can help pets and pet parents, but today we're doing things a little bit differently. We are talking about how we as pet parents can take care of our dogs in a way that's beneficial for you as a vet. So the first thing on our list, which seems obvious, but sometimes it's not, is maintaining our dog's nails. So can you explain why, if we don't maintain our dog's nails, it can cause a lot of problems for the dog and for you treating the dog?
Yeah, if I'd say hygiene is super important. Being nail trimmings is a big one. You don't want their nails being overgrown. It actually might be more of a problem in farm animals if their hooves overgrow and they trap moisture under there. I know that's off topic, but I just wanted to throw that in there. No, it's a really common thing that vets actually do for hoof stock. Like sheep, for example, is trimming their hoofs because they can overgrow, create a little microenvironment under the hoof, make it warm, moist, trap bacteria, and they can get all nasty infection and abscesses. Kind of along the same lines, you don't want your dog's nails to be overgrown. Probably one of the bigger things that can happen, or the worst things that can happen, is if the nail overgrows and then actually grows so long that it penetrates into the pad, and that's painful. It can create a nasty infection like an abscess. And
You're
your dog
saying
might
like
be,
it grows back in, right?
yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. And that could happen with any of the 4 claws on their digits. It could also happen on the dew claw, like their thumb, that can grow into the pad that way. So if they're licking excessively at their foot, or you notice a nasty odor or there's discharge, you want to have your pet evaluated by your vet.
I also read, and I want your opinion, perspective, knowledge, all of it. I also read if their nails are too long, that it shifts their weight, and then they'll be walking incorrectly, and then it can hurt their bones and cause like all these issues that I didn't even know were possible.
I haven't heard that before. I would say as I worked in an orthopedic hospital for a year, I don't think we ever saw a patient come in as its primary problem that its nails were overgrown, because simply that you could trim their nails and then they would go back. But let's say they did have an orthopedic problem like a torn ACL, hip dysplasia, elbow dysplasia, a broken bone. They're unsteady as it is. They're shifting their weight. And if their nails are overgrown, they're going to be sticking out, and those are going to be the points of contact with the ground, which does not give them good traction or a good way that they can manipulate their weight. So if their nails are shorter, they can put their weight on their paws, on their pads, and really they have better stability for walking. So I don't really think that overgrown nails maybe they could, but usually that's a pretty easy fix, and it wouldn't lead to a long-term orthopedic problem.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, I'm personally scared of cutting my dog's nails, but is that something that we can do at home? And if so, what is the safest way?
And so basically it's very similar to our nails when you cut them. There's that white part that has no nerve and no blood supply. And then there's the quick, where there is nerve and blood supply. And sometimes it's difficult because some dogs, their nails are pigmented or black. You can't really see where it is. So that's challenging. And probably for those, if you're not an experienced dog nail cutter, maybe ask your vet or groomer or someone else who knows what they're doing to do it. But basically, you don't want to cut that quick. You don't want to cut the pink fleshy part. The white part is okay. They're not going to feel that. You're not going to cause bleeding. But if you do cut it too short, you can hit the quick, and it's not super painful. Like they'll be okay, but you don't want to make them start bleeding.
Ah! See, this is scary for me. I would need like a veterinarian to sit here and like show me how to do it because I'm petrified. So as of now, I guess I will leave it to the vet and the groomer. So the next thing on our list that we should be attempting to do at home that would be super beneficial for you guys just to maintain our dog's health is cleaning out their ears. Again, that seems super obvious, but a lot of pet parents don't do it. Can you explain why it's so important to clean their ears?
Yeah, dogs can get ear infections. That's probably the biggest one. And they can get it based off a bunch of different things. So some dogs, just their conformation, where their ears are hanging down, like a Cocker Spaniel, where their ears are hanging down. They're called pendulous pinnae, where they're hanging down in the conformation. So they can trap water or moisture and create a little microenvironment inside the ear where it's a really suitable environment for bacteria and yeast to start growing. Some dogs, like Cocker Spaniels, also have an increased number of apocrine glands in their ears that can secrete a lot of ceruminous material. So they can get extra debris and wax in there. So you're going to be on top of that and cleaning it out because that could, again, trap water and moisture in there. Other dogs, for example, poodles, can have hair that grows in their ears. You can, as a pet owner, you can be on top of maintaining that hair and grooming it because that, again, could trap the wax and the debris, water, moisture, trap stuff in there. And that can also lead to an infection. Another thing that can cause infections is food allergies. So if they're commonly scratching their ears and you didn't just give them a bath or they didn't roll around in the dirt or get something stuck in their ear, you might want to consider their food. Older dogs can get ear infections sometimes if you're not noticing it, if they have a growth or a mass inside their ear. Again, something that's occluding the ear canal, again, can trap in water and moisture. So cleaning your dog's ears at home, just being attentive to their hygiene and the smell and look and coloring of their ear. If you notice any changes, those are always cause of concern, and you can have your vet take a look at it.
Totally. That sounds simple enough and not as scary as cutting their nails. So what do you recommend, or how often do you recommend we should clean our dog's ears if they do have those ears that flop down, which the scientific name I won't remember, but how often should we be cleaning their ears?
Yeah, I don't know if there's a hard and fast rule for for every dog. Maybe especially after they've gone swimming or after they go for a bath, for sure. A lot of the approved ear cleaners, they have drying agents in them. So after they've gotten wet for some reason, you can use one of those approved ear cleaners and that can help dry them out. For other dogs, I would say after a bath is a good idea too. But in general, probably maybe about once a month. I wouldn't start doing it every day, especially with those drying agents that can make them really dry and eventually start causing the skin problems on the inside of the ear. But I would say maybe at once a week for those dogs that are very predisposed to getting ear infections. But I wouldn't do it more often than that.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. Get it? Because we're talking about ears. Moving on. The last thing that us pet parents should be doing at home that seems so simple is cleaning our dog's paws off. Can you explain why that's so important?
Yeah, cleaning their paws is if you know that they've stepped in something that they shouldn't have, like pesticides, or if you're in an area where there's snow on the ground outside and it's been salted, cleaning their paws off after they've stepped in something like that can really help prevent cuts and reactions to chemicals that are on the ground. If you know your dog has environmental allergies, for example, an allergy to pollen, to grass, to something outside, wiping them off with something like baby wipes would also really help their allergies. So it's another part of their overall hygiene, and it's good to be attentive to their needs and making sure that they're living their best life.
Living their best life. I love it. And it's so true. I think the theme of this entire video is just hygiene. Like, pay attention to your dog the same way you would pay attention to your child or yourself. These are simple things that if not done, I think, like we discussed, can cause major problems that then become the vet's problems, that become expensive problems. It's just do the little things for your animals. It will pay off. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, any of that stuff, go ahead and drop them down in the comment section below. Again, I'm Bernie Zilio, and this is Alpha Paw. Be sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single doggone episode, and we'll see you guys next time.